Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with IONCINEMA, here to review Death of Me, the latest film directed by Darren, Lynn, Bousman, which will be available October 2nd, 2020, courtesy of Saban Films. It stars Maggie Q and Luke Hemsworth as Christine and Neil, a couple that is traveling together on a remote island in Thailand. He is a travel photojournalist, so he's there on assignment, as we come to find. However, we're introduced to them. They're waking up in a panic. It looks like the room they're staying in is trashed, and they need to dash as fast as they can to a ferry because they need to. Their leg of this trip is done. However, once they get to where they need to be on the ferry, she discovers their passports are missing, and so they have to retreat to the Airbnb as they have a moment to reflect and try to piece together what they did the night before, because apparently they got so schnockered neither of them remembers. On his phone he sees that there's a 2.5 hour video that they start to put on, from which we trace the revelry of their night at a restaurant where Christine starts to have hallucinations. Fast forward to where they have very violent sex outside on the lawn and from, well, it's not really sure where it is, and where he strangles her and kills her and buries her in that lawn. So as they're trying to process that, it becomes clear that Christine, who's also wearing this amulet around her neck that she was given at the restaurant, has been marked for something by these people, because the local population all has a very strange reaction whenever they see her. And when she takes that pendant off, she starts to suffer effects that would indicate she might in fact be dead and have died in that video we've seen. Before you know it, Luke Hemsworth has disappeared. She's stuck on the island. The only person she can really correspond with, because she doesn't speak the language, is the Airbnb owner, Samantha, played by Essoe, who's also very suspect very early on, based on how accommodating she is. The film ends up being very interesting. It is an interesting narrative. It's just that there really is no tension. In fact, it plays like, it's a little under 90 minutes, and it plays like if you stretched out the third act of the original The Wicker Man and made that into an entire film. There's some things that, as we find out what's really going on, seem kind of like they could have been egg-sized altogether. It would have been nice to get some more characterization, more time with this couple to understand their dynamic, which would have made the video that we see even more troubling if we understood how they act together. Bousman, of course, started out directing Saw 2, and did the Repo, the genetic opera, the genetic rock opera. He's returning to the Saw franchise next year with Spiral, of course. And it feels like it's a very polished looking film. It's shot by Jose David Montero, who was also the cinematographer on What Happened to Monday and Apollo 18. And the locations in Thailand, it does look great. Maggie Q does what she can with, the problem is how the couple is written, because they make so many decisions that don't ultimately really make sense based on what they're experiencing. That it's hard to kind of, you know, you're watching people make stupid decisions after so long, you get kind of bored with them, which also doesn't help the lack of tension established in the narrative. That said, it's also a very Farm-Centric narrative, which I liked. Besides Maggie Q and Essoe, there's a couple of supporting characters played by Kelly B. Jones and Kat Inkarat, which are integral to what's happening. So I liked all of that energy. Overall, I would give the film 2.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.